Libra, my lovely, delicious, decadent, and slightly psychotic friend. It is Paulina, it is a fellow Libra, here, talking to you about you and your month of December. Holy fluffaroos! I don't even know what that means. Okay, so you've done, I think maybe a lot of things wrong or right. You've just done a lot of things, and it is truly time to continue you. Continue you as you, and not to look anywhere else. So because the best has been kind of over, it feels, you've had a very good run with Jupiter, and I feel Saturn has been a very nice supportive system for you as well, but due to us being in this really interesting time of forming and quantum shifting through different states, I think that you might feel like you're no longer, like you're off. You're no longer the cup of tea. You know what I mean? It's like you're suddenly not the flavor of the week. You know, it's like, why? Why? Well, because Jupiter's gone, and because we've got a very different type of system for you now. And please don't try anything crazy. Please. And here I mean travel. You know, here I mean, nurture with a person that you don't even understand, or like having sexual experiences with people that are in a relationship, or while you're in a relationship, anything about running away from home, anything about running away or towards, and anything to do with too much stress and drama, because you might not like that you have got a lot of fire within you, but you also don't really have a lot of time to connect to yourself. And this is where it gets harsh. You are not you if you like something more than you. If you think that something else is out there more important or pretty or better than you. You have got to understand that you are you, because you are the perfect, beautiful Libra. You are the Venetian Saturnian Libra, because Saturn is your secondary friend. And yes, you are needed to be the perfect you. You need to be the perfect you, Libra. You got to get your hair did, you got to get your nails did, you got to sit there and you got to feel pretty. You got to feel pretty, and however it comes to you, it's got to be yours. It's got to be yours. I am pretty. And then everything else can just go away. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't, does it? So because you guys are very, I feel, intimidatingly pretty for somebody, sometimes you can be taken away from yourself. You can be taken away from your center. You could be perhaps worried that somebody doesn't like you when they don't even freaking know how to talk to you. You might build a little story where you are with a family which doesn't belong with you. You might create a little situation where you're clutching to somebody who finally has time for you. You're going through some kind of weird divorce with yourself in order to be available for somebody else. It is not so good to jump out of your skin in any direction, to lift your your energy up at somebody, because this is too much. We've got Aries in your sign. We've got not Aries, I'm sorry. We've got Mars in your sign, so we've got a lot of drama. We've got a lot of perhaps demons, and also very shifty energy, like energetic activity. So I'm seeing a lot of shadow, and a possibility of a very strange surprise. Very strange surprise. If you aren't you, and you can't just say, oh, so good to be me. So good to be me. Very nice to be you, and how to be you. And this is not easy, because you kind of understand perhaps that you are the collective unconscious wish for perfection that everybody has. You are the answer to another person's prayer. You are the connection between people. You are the social glue. You are the class between all classes. It isn't easy. It isn't easy to be the between. The seventh house is not easy for us. Anybody, seventh house, people think, seventh house activity, marriage, yeah, easy unions. No, it isn't easy. It's like you kind of understand that you got to sometimes betray inside to be on the outside that which you think you want to be. It's like a mirror game. It's like having lots of mirrors. It's not easy to be you, Libra, sometimes, especially at times where the rage, the rave, the connection, the concentration, the beauty, the beckoning, and the blasphemous decision is in the money. It's in the money. It's in the goods, like what you got, what you have. What kind of fabric is your clothes made of? You know what I mean? It's suddenly crazy. It's like before you were the cup of tea, and you probably felt like, I could wear potato sack and I'm still beautiful. Like I could just show up unannounced and I'm still invited and I'm still engaging. I could we are nothing special, and I'm still commented on my clothes, or like I got a lucky deal just because I turned up and I looked this person in the face, and I just got noticed, and I got scouted like in the last year. I had all these things throw themselves at me, and now it's gone. It's gone, and it might feel like wait for me, the ship is sailing, you know, that kind of feeling. And it isn't easy for you if you still don't know who you are. You're great. So yes, it is about texture. Yeah, we're in your second house Jupiter now. Okay, so let it go. Let it go. It's okay. Oh, but no, I want to be the best. No, just don't worry. Don't worry, Libra. So you don't have to claw at anybody or anything. And it's not so much if you're clawing for you as it is about the shout. It's like, why? Why? You know, if you are asking why, it's not going to come back in a good way. So it's more about fashion here. It is more about clothes here. It's more about flavor, you know. But me, you know, like my feelings, my things, you know, my rhetorics. It's not so much about. It's not a personal thing. It's just the changing of season. It's the changing of time. It feels to me that it's more about you and your dominance over your circumstance through the bank account. You might be noted for your powerful energy. You might be noted for your stream. Like, for example, if you have a lot of people coming to your website and your energy grows, and you might see that perhaps you might want to uplift your image, you want to change your typography, you might want to by this time have a better look at who you are, a more conservative. I know, and you're like, no, I don't want to be conservative. More conservative. Yeah, more conservative, more sales related, more yeah, I know it's hard, and I'm feeling that you are going as an energy, no, I want to be me, I want to be loved and cuddled and cared for just because I'm me. But this is the thing, is because Mars is pushing Libra towards great extremes, and then we've got what? We've got we've got you, I feel, potentially nurturing things that aren't nurturable. So being in bed with people that don't really suit you, you know, being apart from somebody who does, you know, running around, escaping your fate. For example, you've already got a place prepared for you, and things are coming together, but you might run away from somebody who's worth your time, and you might run into the arms of another person who seems to really like you for you, but they don't. They're just using you. And sometimes you might not actually see that a person isn't actually interested in what they can see in you or what you are to them. They might actually already start looking at you like a slice of money, like a slice of meat, like a meal ticket, because they kind of know that you've got Jupiter in your second house, and eventually, even if it isn't now, perhaps it is now, you will start to produce something very important. So if you've got a person around you that's looking at you and they're like, you know, like licking their lips and they're interested, especially if it's a mouth-based activity. I know it's very precise. You know, like they're looking at you like you're tasty. You might actually understand that perhaps they're not actually willing for you to improve or to change or do something different. Rather, they're wanting you to stay the same, stay put, stay as you are, and generate something of a gem for the future. So they might actually be looking at you as like a milking cow. You know what I mean? So if you are generating a new experience with somebody, stay very, very, very close to center and see when a person finds out, for example, that you are, you know, well-to-do, or you're famous, or you've got some kind of like a nice house, or you've got a nice situation, you might actually find the person wants you more for those things. And it is very, very important. It is very, very important not to take that personally. Not to take that personally, because here you do not need to, how can I say, you do not need to be loved for, this is hard, see, it's difficult. You don't need to be loved for what you are inside or for what you have, but you will perhaps generate a few people here in December that aren't really like dominating or submitting to you. They're just waiting around. It's like, hey mom, when's dinner ready? You know, what have you got over there? Oh, okay, you got clients. It's like a hungry, it's like a hungry fest. And if you got like hungry people, it's cute. You know, imagine you're a mother. Okay, nice time with mothers actually. Got Gemini moon at the beginning of the month. Okay, imagine you're a mum. And you got your teenagers or your kids walking around, and you're like, say, making apple pie, and the whole house smells amazing. Okay. And then people walk around, they're like, mm, like this. Oh, isn't it flattering? Isn't it flattering when, for example, your husband comes home and he's like, oh, something smells amazing. Wow, what is this? And this is where it has to be. So this is hard for some Libras, especially the ones that like to be on the road, like myself, or like to just be independent, or like don't mind me, you know, don't mind me. I'm just a free spirit. Because this is about what you're producing and about the flavor, texture, smell, and color, and connection that you are creating for people through money, through worth, through food, through zombie states that people go into when they think they're going to get something. Okay, they're going to get something because there is a saying in Russian: "It smells like money." Someone smells like money. Okay, so you're starting to slowly acquire a taste for perhaps wisdom, maybe, or knowledge. And here it is that when you are interested in other things, you know, things that you were perhaps chasing or didn't really understand will come to you. So, for example, here you might be like, "But where is God? You know, but what's my life like? Who am I really on the inside?" You know, you might be thinking a lot of things that are really personal or very epic, but unfortunately, that doesn't come to you. But what does come to you, perhaps, is just a situation where you are accidentally receiving a lot more, and it's like money comes in, you're like, oh, I don't care about that, or like say you get new products and you're like, I don't care about that. Well, what about this? What about that? So this is an irony. So for example, if you're somebody who's come from a poor family like myself, like, or not poor, but you know, changeable, we immigrated. You know what I mean? It's like if struggle, or like if financial deprivation has been part of your time, and perhaps there's always been a worry or like a concern about not having enough, or like one day not being able to survive in the unconscious because of my culture. You know what I mean? Because Russia's had a hard time. Sometimes you might find as a Libra, also, if you've come from that kind of background, that this type of energy doesn't last anymore. Like you might not think about money as often, and it might not be about the truth or untruth that is in your bank account. It is more about the truth within. And when it is about the truth within, suddenly money comes in and people can smell it. They're like, oh, what's that? What's cooking? Oh, this smells good. What have you got on the plate? And it is nice to use that too, but I wouldn't advise, this is a thing. We'll go Gemini moon beginning. Okay, so I wouldn't advise to start a relationship or start to recall people to you, because people can come back from the past through money. Like, yeah, I'll pay for you. You can come with me on the trip. I'll pay for you. Or, yeah, I will just start employing you because I really like your company. Or like, please, yeah, live in my house, eat my food. Here's my fridge. You know, here's the number, the PIN number for my bank account. Here's the PIN number for my safe. Very careful with that. So, because of this energy, you might find that people start becoming obsessed with you for something really, really trivial to you. So you might suddenly be the golden calf, or you might suddenly appear to somebody else as the dream, and in there is not really a lot for you. It is more about the wallet and the bank account, because it feels to me that even if you're just starting up a business or you're starting up a venture, and perhaps you had a very lucky go, you might have a lot more money in the future than you might think. And then a person that's next to you, or people that perceive financially, people that are feeders, you know, people that like perhaps you know, a gorgeous lifestyle, they like a lot of money in the bank, you know, they like a lot of calm and, you know, protection from the elements through the powers of the bank account. You might actually figure them out very quickly, because what happens is, with these types of people, you just watch. Okay, so you wear something beautiful that is perhaps not your style. You wear something beautiful. They might not notice you, but they will notice the dress, you know, or they will not notice what you said, but they will notice the expensive perfume. They might not want to know what you're doing with yourself or your spirit or what you feel like, but they might notice that you got, for example, enough money to go overseas, or they might perceive you as perhaps not good enough, this or that, but they might get very impressed when they find out, say, how many products you sell in a week or something like that. So be very, very, very mindful. If you are not used to money as well, if you are not used to money and you've generated a lot of power, say, you know, we've been talking for a while, and you're suddenly like generating a lot of power that's enough to give you a really nice level of prosperity, and hope, it could be really, really great to share your time or this energy of financial stability with somebody who is very secure in themselves financially. And to also not be obliged to people that have helped you before. So this could actually be a completely new spectrum for some of us, as money can destroy relationships here. And it isn't just money, it is goods. It is also the black magic, I suppose, of fashion, and the black magic of being well-to-do or well-presented. You might actually find that suddenly the people that weren't there before are, and these are not real, because you can kind of see where they're going, and you might actually feel like the goose that lays the golden eggs, or the type of person or presence that sometimes even gets bullied for suddenly, you know, eating at fancy restaurants and being in a different, like in a different layer of opportunity, of possibility. That can also be an incredible, I feel, disaster for couples who have become very, very accustomed to sharing money. But say, for example, if you have been the only one working and working out and changing and doing for such a long time, and the partner hasn't moved, and your bank account is booming, and they're expected to share with you. You know what I mean? So anything to do with money, anything to do with goods, anything to do with seduction, the seduction of the deep based on pleasure, travel, opportunity, you know, big bucks, you know, things like that, this can escape you as well. Because sometimes when we can see that we become a supporter for another person, or that another person wants us for the money, or that other people get strong, you know, when they understand how much is possible, or they're trying to feed on us, we can sometimes cut ourselves short. So for example, you might have an opportunity to make something bigger, and you might say, no, actually, I don't want to do it. And you ask yourself why later, and you kick yourself. It's because you might see that this opportunity has created something for you to give you a lot of wealth, and you might avoid the opportunity because you might be afraid of what people might want to do with you, or to you, or through you, if you have such great options. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it is easier to be wealthy inside and poor on the outside, because you can see who is who. But suddenly, when you perhaps now feel unwealthy inside, you might feel like, I need to go up, I need to learn, I need to dream, I need to, like, I'm not enough for myself, I want to grow. This is what I feel Libras are getting. But then on the outside, you are vibrating to wealth and to financial stability. You might find it suddenly very harsh to be around anybody, because it's like they don't notice you for who you are. So this could be like a very distorting type of situation, where the voice that you have and the voice that you feel that you can't perhaps yet totally crow with, can't totally accept or explain, doesn't get heard unless you're waving a paycheck around, or unless you're waving something. And this is very easy for the shallow Libras, you know, the shallow ones, because we're not all the same. You know, some people aren't, some people aren't, you know, like we all have it within us, but it's not the same for each one. So, you know, the shallow end of Libra, you know, the end that wears, you know, Gucci perfume and has, you know, Victoria's Secret underwear, and, you know, gets their nails done all the time, and becomes a Kim Kardashian of their little clique, and goes, yeah, that's right, I can do everything. And you might actually find, if you're on the shallow end and you don't want to learn anything, you might want to travel. And travel becomes almost a new trap, you know, or the new interest, and that's fine, and that's beautiful. That could actually work many ways. And occasionally during this type of transit, the shallow end, you know, the end of some Libras, this is not for everybody. If you've got like a little Leo or like Scorpio, you know, Mars or something like that, you might find that you really like it, that you can do things that people can't. Perhaps you find it that it's really, really weirdly easy to suddenly be the it girl, you know, to suddenly have a lot of respect, having people invite you and, you know, clap for you and cheer for you. And for some Libras that is enough, but there's also a lot of us who aren't like that, and this is difficult. This is difficult. Like, you know, those people who never thought in terms of money or opportunity, and after Jupiter's gone for our sign, we might be so clad with optimism, you know, and we clad with optimism. Can you imagine that? So it's like we might be so clad with ambition or, you know, opportunities, and we might have so much around us that's just blooming. It's like the reality spectrum is so rich that we might not want to do anything the same anymore. And this is a blessing and a curse, because we've got to now redesign ourselves. I mean, if I was like fully sincerely to say to you, I would just I would probably, this is really hard because everybody's got a very, very sincerely precious world, and I don't want to like put everything into one box here, like with this type of thing. It is up to you how you navigate through it, because everybody's got a different story with money. You know, everybody's got a different story with abundance. Everybody's got a different story with possibility, opportunity, wealth, pleasure, and everything like that. Do you have a story? Do you have a story where a partner takes from you and doesn't give much back? Then stop the story and start something different. Did you ever have a story where you were always poor and you could never afford clothes? Stop that story. Start becoming more lavish. It's balance. Did you ever have a story where you felt that you had like feet of lead and everybody else was doing things and you could never move? Why not? Why not move? Have a look if you can travel here. Have you ever had a feeling like you could never be able to afford something for your parents? Do you have a bleeding heart for your mom? Have a look at that. So have a look and try to balance out what you've got, because I don't know your individual story, but I know that this is a very, very strange time as we have to balance out the heart and the wallet, the heart and the wallet. So have a look, Libra, at how you can become more placid and more connected with time, and see how you can perhaps evolve your physical prosperity at the same rate as your inner world. So thank you very much. If you would like to purchase my books, you can. I got books. Yeah, you can stop the video now, I don't mind. So I got books. I got 3 books, and they're pretty much, yeah, they're kind of similar designs. So I'm going for this type of look because I'm kind of going to produce a lot more of these. I don't know where it comes from. I just like it. And this is the book that I would like to talk about. This is the Almanac, and it is not just a book, it is a planner. It's an annual planner. So I wrote this in Sweden. It's nice. It's basically your year ahead, so it's got a detailed report for every month, and then you can kind of like sort of like write everything in that you need. So it's like a diary. So you grab a pen and you write in. So you use it as a planner, so you plan ahead. And it's got also moon phases at the back, and it's got retrogrades as well. And apart from that, it's also got Western Chinese, Mayan, Vedic, and Native American astrology. So thank you very much, you guys. I really enjoyed doing this. I always find you like so wonderful to chat to, because Libras are really misunderstood as an energy, and it's so interesting to be one also, and to connect with the collective of Libra minds. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. And also, if you'd like a reading or anything like that, let me know. And yeah, all the details below. Thank you. Bye.